Darlings, it's Mummy, Sybil Bruncheon. Here's part two of my farewell Tour-ettes of my neighborhood. I wanted you to see. There's the 330 Riverside Drive down there on the corner. Here's beautiful townhouses and everything. Look at these houses with the sunset. And here's another one. Here's the West River house, which is quite lovely. This is 334 I'm not sure. There's 336, so it's, well, 334. Anyway, look at what they've done. This has been newly steamed and polished. Everything is like absolutely fresh, and they even did the dental molding up on the top. Looks like it's all freshly coppered. Look at the brick and the marble work. Absolutely pristine, absolutely gorgeous. With the sun setting on it. But this is what I wanted you to see. Here's another house. This is what they mostly are like, and you know, they're nice enough, although with their redone entryways with bathroom tile, etc., from the 1950s or whatever. Some of them are a little bit worse the wear for chipped paint or whatever, but they're still gorgeous. This is the one I wanted you to see on this tour. This is spectacular. This is truly spectacular. Let me see if I can do this without being hit by a car. Yep, no one's coming. All right, and there, of course, is Riverside Park through there. Look at this. Look at this. All right, it's a little run down. It's been a little bit beaten up, but look at how beautiful. And then this is what I want you to see. All right, so here we have the intersection. That's some general of some sort who is facing Riverside Drive and conquered something or did something significant. This is what I want you to see. Now, many townhouses were torn down in the 1920s and 30s and built with these so-called pre-war buildings. But this is what I want you to see. This is absolutely spectacular. This is 337. This is called River Mansion, and it is a single residence still. This is absolutely shades of Fifth Avenue, Madison Avenue, the Upper East Side. Who has a house that is a double lot townhouse? This is a double lot. Okay, so see, there's one, but this would normally be two. So whoever built this, and I really should do some internet exploring.
Robert Kahn.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Robert Kahn is the architect.
Who is?
Robert Kahn, K-O-H-N.
Thank you very much. I'd love to know, Robert Kahn, I'd love to look at the deco numbers there. Aren't those wonderful? I'd love to know who it was built for and who bought a double lot in 18 whatever to build this spectacular, spectacular house. It's a little grim. I mean, it's not cheerful architecture. It doesn't have gargoyles, you know, frowning down on us like, you know, Julie Harris's Hill House, but it definitely, it's spectacular. Interestingly, no matter when you walk by, there are not lights on everywhere. There are accordion gates on the second floor. Can you see them up there in the windows? So it's kind of like, well, what kind of security do you need for that? I mean, who's going to climb in there? But this house has survived the appalling 60s, 50s, and 60s when this neighborhood was absolutely no man's land. This neighborhood had fallen on very bad, hard times. Oh, Mummy was wrong. There are a pair of lion faces up there. Oh, sort of like Julie Harris, as a matter of fact. Yeah, in Hill House, there are a couple of faces up there. But this house was really a breathtaking thing. And then to have even named it River Mansion. So I'm going to go look it up, but I want you to see that this is literally right around the corner from Mummy's house. I love the 337 number, the number fonts that were used. Oh, and look, inside, like some brooms and a box of something or the other. I mean, and I've seen an elderly woman coming in and out of this house once in a while, and there's the one buzzer. See, no multiple apartments here, and there's the mail slot. So it's one person lives here, or one family, and interesting, very interesting to see this. Meanwhile, next door, and there's the service entrance, which is imposing. I mean, 337A, that's very imposing. So there's your service entrance, and can you imagine what the views are like up in those windows over the park and off to New Jersey? You can see the mountains of New Jersey from here. Anyway, so these are the houses next door. And this is a very imposing house. This is not a double lot, but it certainly is this is a very impressive one. Beautiful copper work up at the top. And then I guess this is a double townhouse. It's almost like 337 is a triple townhouse. This is a double. Here's a single. These are the singles. There's a single. So, and you can see how some townhouses survived the turn of the century and the rebuilding in the 30s, the 20s and 30s. Some were, not torn down, but the rest, there's a whole row and then gone. And then another one and gone. So this is what was built in the 20s. Starting like in 1915, 1920. Some of these townhouses were only in existence for like 20 years, 30 years. They were built in 1880 and were gone by 1910. So, and you can see how the top of that one has been turned into a little bit of clapboard suburbia. So there you go. That's it. Oh, someone's waiting for me. You can see him down there in his pink sweater. Another stretch of pre-war building. Another set of Romanesque townhouses. So here we go. In the old days, when Mummy used to be up here, like in the 70s, there were no doormen. There were lobbies like that, but no doormen. It was pretty rough up here. The architecture was still sumptuous, but to live up here was not okay. It wasn't a fabulous time. So there you go. Interesting. Darlings, I said it earlier, I say it again. Once you realize that you're going to say goodbye to something, everything becomes very vivid. Very vivid. Faces, smiling faces, everything. Signs in windows, back alleys. Everything becomes very vivid. And all I can tell you is that everything you see and smell and taste and hear and hold in your hand or your heart, everything is borrowed. It's only borrowed. Be present, be mindful, be grateful. It's all only borrowed.